Hello, welcome back, my viewers. We are now discussing about intrinsic motivation as a means of reducing corruption. How does intrinsic motivation work against corruption? Remember, intrinsic motivation is a principal motivator within an employee that works on the principle that satisfaction against corruption should emanate from inside an employee to be able to abstain from corruption within himself. So an employee is motivated within himself to ensure there is no corruption within his own person. You develop important values, important principal values that guides the employee as a very important asset in the organization to ensure he's not involved in an ethical culture. Therefore, in practice, fostering an intrinsic motivation involves instilling values into employees so that they are motivated to act ethically and in accordance with the codes of conduct, regardless of any external rewards, regardless of bribes, regardless of any other motivation. Intrinsically, an employee is motivated to behave ethically. So you ensure that the employees are trained, employees are motivated, all right, by other means other than external motivations to ensure that these employees behave so well. This can be done by, for example, rewarding them, all right, giving them various roles that intrinsically appreciates their role in the organization. When employee, remember, there is for us who are practicing HR managers, there is an extent to which money is not a motivator anymore. I remember when I started working, my salary was very low. At the time when I was leaving, I was getting a lot of money, but still there was no motivation. I still was not well motivated by money. So there are other aspects, there are other things that motivate an employee to behave well other than external issues like money and so on. Transparency International has also advocated for the promotion of intrinsic motivation, emphasizing there is a real motivation reward that comes from something right, doing something right for others. When you do something right for your customer, for example, and your employer taps you on the back and says, "Thank you so much for the support you have given to our customer. He has actually appreciated so much, and he feels that you are an asset to this organization." If that employee is motivated that way, he will always want to do right things. And the right things we are talking about is being ethical, is being a man and a woman of integrity, is ensuring that the institution he's working for still receives the same appreciation from customers. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about money, or I'm not talking about promotions. I'm talking about appreciation that employees are actually doing the right thing. Remember, if an employee feels that my bosses are appreciating what I'm doing by simply writing to them, all right, appreciation notes, or calling them in the office and telling them, "Thank you for what you have done. The last month was exemplarily well," that employee will always want to do the right thing. Or probably an employee, a customer has advanced a bribe, and the employee says no to that and says, "This is my duty to do what I'm doing." I am telling you, if you appreciate certain employees, and I've seen this within the police force in Kenya, where some police officers have shown exemplary performance, exemplary values by refusing to take bribes from motorists, or by refusing to take bribes from the people who wanted to actually motivate them to do things that are not right, and the leadership of the police force has come forward to appreciate them. This is what I'm talking about. You are driving an intrinsic motivation among your employees, and I'm looking forward to seeing this happening within the public sector organizations within the African region. Just appreciating employees that they have done something well is very much unique. Of course, some of us during our employment period, we have never felt that we have never been appreciated. And because when we took up the role of corruption eradication within the public service in Kenya, corruption was very, very, very rampant. We thank God that today people can be able to speak openly against corruption. During those days, the days of 2000 years, early 2000 years, you could not actually talk against corruption again in the face of a minister, for example, who is involved in corruption, or a senior employee within an organization. You could not speak, you could not openly tell them that you are corrupt and you need to stop what you're doing. I thank God for the environment we have created. This far we have come as East Africans. We are able to tell our leaders when they are involved in corruption. And this is what I'm talking about. When an employee is motivated to fight corruption from inside, that employee will always feel honored, and he will carry the mantle. He will be the champion of corruption eradication within that organization. And therefore, we are looking forward to motivating our staff, our colleagues within organizations, both private and private sector, public and private sector organizations, to fight corruption within our organizations and inculcate ethical culture within organizations. Remember, these are things of the heart. All right, they're things of the heart, and sometimes you just need somebody to pat you on your back and say, thank you, you are doing a good job. Now, thank you so much. We actually prepare for the next session, and we'll be discussing about changing organizational culture. Organizational culture as a way of reducing corruption in an organization. Please, we call upon our partners, our donor agencies, our funders to please come on board and support Ethics Institute of East Africa in ensuring ethical culture within the East African region. Please, 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 donors, funders, grantors, come on board. Support Ethics Institute of East Africa. We are looking forward to going beyond Kenya, beyond East Africa, and encompassing the whole of the African region to ensure there is ethical culture within the continent. Thank you so much. I welcome back to the next session on changing organizational culture and how does it positively impact on corruption eradication.